Trump threatens new tariffs on auto, semiconductor, and pharmaceutical imports. President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose tariffs of 25% or more on imports of cars, semiconductors, and pharmaceutical products. These new tariffs could be announced as early as April 2nd, following the completion of a review of the administration's trade policies by April 1st. Proposed auto tariffs: 25% tariff on foreign-made automobiles. Trump stated the tariff on imported cars would be in the neighborhood of 25%. This move could significantly impact major automakers like Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. Potential impact on consumer prices: critics warn that such tariffs could lead to increased prices for consumers in the U.S. market. Possible exemptions: unclear. It remains uncertain if there will be any exemptions from these auto tariffs for certain countries or manufacturers. Semiconductor and pharmaceutical tariffs. Semiconductor tariffs. Trump announced tariffs of 25% and higher on imported semiconductors. This could affect major companies like NVIDIA, AMD, Micron, Intel, and Taiwan. Semiconductor manufacturing. Pharmaceutical tariffs. Similar tariffs of 25% or more are planned for imported pharmaceutical products. This move could impact global pharmaceutical giants and potentially affect drug prices. Gradual implementation. Trump indicated that tariff hikes would be implemented in stages over time, giving companies a little bit of a chance to relocate factories to the U.S. Recent tariff actions: steel and aluminum tariffs. Last week, Trump announced 25% tariffs on imports of steel and aluminum. China import tariffs. Earlier this month, tariffs on imports from China were raised by 10%. Canada and Mexico tariffs on hold. 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico are currently on hold until early March, pending commitments to border security and drug trafficking prevention. Reciprocal tariffs announced. Trump recently announced tit-for-tat reciprocal tariffs against countries with tariffs on U.S. goods, citing unfair treatment in trade. Trump's comments had little immediate effect on stocks after hours. Investors appeared to be taking a wait-and-see attitude, with most affected companies seeing stock price changes of less than 1% in after-hours trading. Potential impact on auto industry. Increased costs. 25% tariffs on imported automobiles could significantly increase costs for manufacturers relying on global supply chains. Domestic production incentive. The tariffs may incentivize automakers to shift more production to the U.S., potentially creating jobs, but also increasing manufacturing costs. Consumer price hikes. Higher production costs could lead to increased prices for consumers, potentially affecting demand for new vehicles. Implications for semiconductor industry supply chain. Disruption. Tariffs could disrupt global semiconductor supply chains, affecting production and availability of electronic devices. Increased R&D costs. Companies may need to invest more in domestic research and development to reduce reliance on imports. Market share shifts. Tariffs could alter competitive dynamics, potentially benefiting some U.S. companies while challenging others. Innovation impact. Higher costs and supply chain disruptions could potentially slow the pace of innovation in the tech sector. Pharmaceutical industry concerns. Drug price increases. Tariffs on imported pharmaceuticals could lead to higher drug prices for U.S. consumers. Research and development. Increased costs may impact pharmaceutical companies' R&D budgets, potentially affecting new drug development. Global competitiveness. U.S. pharmaceutical companies may face challenges in global markets if retaliatory tariffs are imposed. Supply chain restructuring. Companies may need to restructure their supply chains, potentially moving more production to the U.S.